Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door. And got my hair's all over the place. And we are back with a championship preview show. It's been the longest gap we've had all season, basically. One other international break gap, but the FA Cup has afforded all championship squads. Well, that's not true, actually, is it? Because there were 2 games on Wednesday. But put it this way, we've had a break and we are now kicking in for, well, it may even be, given what's going on with postponements and presumably players will be getting vaccinated. It may well be a straight run through all the way, definitely to Easter and pretty much to the end of the season for some teams. Going to be a lot of games played if the Euros are going to go ahead. And here we start for round 24. As ever, the format of this show, we go through all 12, I think there's only going to be 10, of the fixtures. And we're going to have a little look at what's going on and we're going to make our predictions. So I need your help in the comments. Try and focus on the game that we are currently covering, but always a good time. And these predictions will be abridged over on Patreon in short form, not long after this one goes up. To do my housekeeping, we're going to say thank you to the Donovan brothers, who are our fan sponsor for this show, in loving memory of Michael Donovan of South East London, a lifelong Millwall fan and admirer of this show. Thank you to the Donovans for their continued support. You too can get involved. You can see down there on Patreon for things of that nature. Let me know if you can see me, hear me loudly, clearly. Hi to Carl, Noah, Mr. Football, Liam as well. And we will crack on with the games. Let's go over to the split screen. So, as ever, we'll go from the top downwards. And it is, of course, Norwich up at the top of the table. And they will be visiting Cardiff. Interesting one for us to start with. Cardiff versus Norwich. Get your thoughts in on that. I mean, let's start with the table in respects of this one. Norwich ending the first half of the season top. And if you saw the reserve team that they put out in the FA Cup against Coventry, squad looking pretty fit and healthy at the moment. Cardiff, who played Norwich very recently, didn't they? Are we going to get the flip reverse of those fixtures? Yeah, they're not on the best run, are they? And Neil Harris couldn't get himself an FA Cup win over at Forest either. However, this game is taking place in Cardiff. And if we bring up the home table, you will see Cardiff have won 3 in the last 5 at home, losing to Brentford and to their rivals Swansea. Unfortunately for them, Norwich are the best away team in the division. So make of that what you will. Let's go and have a look at the recent games. We'll ignore the FA Cup. Norwich obviously in excellent form. A little slip, 1 point in 2 games from them, but nowhere near as spotty as Cardiff have been, and obviously a postponement recently for Cardiff in terms of their game against Rotherham. So, look, with everything stacking up the way it is, it's hard not to forecast an away win in this one, isn't it? I'm going to go away win there just on the basis of where the two clubs are at the moment and possible pressure under pressure, for Neil Harris. Let me just throw up not throw up. I'll just put up the super chat business there, and we'll read your predictions on this one. What have we got here? 2-1 Cardiff, says Russ. 1-1. 2-1 Norwich. 2-0 Norwich away win. December the 16th. I wonder if we get a flip of all of those fixtures. 2-1 Norwich. 2-0 Norwich. 3-1 Norwich. 2-0. 1-1. 2-1 Norwich. Let's move on to our next fixture, which is going to be Swansea. Now, this may be a watch along. We'll have to. I'm finding it very hard to schedule stuff at the moment with games being cancelled. I want to try and get ahead and have everything ready up front. But the vague plan at the moment is we will do this as a watch along. This being, what's that view look like? Not so sure about that. This being Barnsley versus Swansea. So get your predictions in. Barnsley have had a really good run, haven't they? But we all looked ahead and saw the fixture list, which means that they were playing Norwich in their last game away. Now they play Swansea, and then midweek they go to Watford. So a hard little run for Barnsley. Maybe a slight regression to the mean for them in terms of league position over these few games. They're up there in 9th, which is tremendous. And if you consider how the season started with that, the issues with Struber and not winning probably for the first 5 or 6 games, excellent work. And excellent work is something that we can definitely say of Swansea, up in 2nd place. Look at that, 10 points in the last 4 as well. Let's have a look at the numbers. Can they go away to Barnsley and get the win? Let's have a look at the away form for Swans. Patchy, look, defeat at Borough, defeat at Derby, win at Cardiff, win at QPR. You would argue as well, 3 of those games against teams currently in the bottom half as well, and a couple of defeats in there. And for the Barnsley home forms, really good, other than when they went toe-to-toe with Bournemouth on our watch-along, and Bournemouth did them 4-0 with an excellent attacking performance there. Tricky one to call, this one. I am going to go for a scoring draw in this one. Obviously, Swansea have got that excellent defensive record, so maybe I need to say a low-scoring draw, but I just can see people cancelling each other out in this game. Let's see what you guys are saying. Away win. So I think we might be on the last game there. Let's assume from QPR forever downwards, we're on Barnsley and Swansea. So score draw, away win. 1-0 Barnsley, 2-1 Barnsley, 3-2 Swansea, 1-0 Swansea, draw. Liam says, trap game for my Swans. Very few arrivals and several key departures yet this window. Away match, feeling we may draw this one. And Connor says 3-1 Swans. Joel says 2-1 Swans. So I think more people going on away win there than home win. I'm on a draw. I'm on the fence as per usual, aren't I? But there we go. Put your neck on the line. Why don't you? Oh, you can do the entire screen there. It's interesting. Sorry, I'm just pressing the buttons on StreamYard that I've never pressed before. Probably not a good idea. I'll probably end the stream by doing that. Let's move on. We are talking 3rd place Bournemouth. And Bournemouth will be playing Luton at home. Get your comments in on that one. Bournemouth versus Luton. Sorry. All sorts of different views I'm trying out here. Luton, well, lost at home to QPR midweek, and Luton are better at home than they are away. Luton, the 10th best team, they've got a good home record with 19 points. Away from home, not bad. I mean, they've got 11 points into the bargain, so that gives them that decent 30-point total. Bournemouth's home form is really nice, actually. Look, 7 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. Preston going there and winning. So those numbers intimate a Bournemouth win. And Bournemouth, sorry, that's my speaker turning itself off. Bournemouth will be very keen, they will see it as drop points, considering where Millwall are in the league. Despite the fact Millwall had a good performance there in midweek, they'll see this as one that they'll want to come back and win and make that 4 points from the 2 games. There's the recent form. So Luton actually only 1 win if you throw the postponement in. We can't do that because they actually replayed that, didn't they? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 win in 5 for Luton, but a bit of a slowdown for Bournemouth, to be honest. Only 5 points in the last 4 games. They had been in better form than that, hadn't they? So I'm going to go for a home win. Seems an obvious one to me. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Luton 1-0. 2-1 Bournemouth, 2-1 Bournemouth, home win, 2-0 Bournemouth, 3-0 Bournemouth, 3-0. And we always like to see one of those. A nice meal in there, and 2-1 Bournemouth. So we're pretty much in groupthink mode there, aren't we, in terms of Bournemouth, probably decent favourites there to beat Luton at home. But it's a championship, isn't it? Just going to throw up, got to stop saying that, haven't I? Just going to put up in the ticker there, YouTube there, if you haven't already hit like on this stream or subscribed, then please do. Really helps us with our growth little by little, but we are doing good. Now, Brentford, we can skip over pretty quickly because they are postponed, aren't they? COVID problems for Brentford. So that's going to take Reading out of the equation as well. So we won't do a prediction, obviously, because there's no game, but Brentford versus Reading is postponed. You can see there 4th and 5th in the table. So Watford could be catching up, and for Bournemouth, Swansea and Norwich, they can be pulling ahead there. And you want those games played and ticked off, don't you, the way things are? Well, unless we get a horrible points per game situation, in which case you probably don't want them played. You're happy to have the games in hand and add on the points you've got already, especially if you're one of those top 4 or 5. But hey, let's not go near that, shall we? And let's move on. So we'll call it game number 5, but it's really game number 4 will be Watford versus Huddersfield. And I'm sure you'll all remember the last straw for Vladimir Ivic, wasn't it? Back on December the 16th. They went and visited Huddersfield. They lost 2-0. Some possible issues with Mr. Deeney and Mr. Ivic, and he didn't last the night, and out he went. And Munoz has come in since. He's only played 2 games, hasn't he, with the win against Norwich and then the defeat at Swansea. So we don't have too much to go on. What we do know is we can bracket Huddersfield a little bit like Luton in being better at home than they are away from home. Get your predictions in, by the way, for this one. Watford versus Huddersfield. Let's just bring up the away table, and we find Huddersfield down in 21st with only 2 away wins. And in the home table, Watford are the best team in the league, and they haven't even played as many games as Swansea and Norwich, and they've got more points there. Excellent home record for Watford. Let's have a look at the recent games. There's still some sense that they're in no way the finished product, Watford, in terms of shaping that talented squad into a decent first team. There's the recent form. So there is that Huddersfield defeat in there, along with the away defeat to Swansea. They did lead in that game as well. Tom Cleverley shooting them ahead, and a home defeat to Cardiff into the bargain. Wins at home against Watford and Birmingham. But I suppose the big one is they did beat Norwich at home. So in theory, I know football doesn't work like this, that would be a good omen for a home game against Huddersfield, wouldn't it? There is the recent Huddersfield form. and the home form's brilliant, isn't it? Other than that recent, I think it was 5 wins on the trot before losing to Reading, wasn't it? The away form recently, though, and look at that. Take the Barnsley game out, there's no goals and 8 goals conceded in the other one. So I think we're landing on a home win here, if logic means anything in the Championship for Watford. So I'll go for a home win, and we'll see what you guys are saying in the chat here on that one. Mr. Football says, can't see us winning. 2-1 Watford. Carl, I think he's on this one, says 0-0. Watford 2-0. Dale says 2-0 Watford. 2-2 QPR. Home win. David says he thinks he's going to regret this with his Watford head on, but I think we could batter them. 2-1 home win. 2-0 Orns. 2-0 Watford. 2-1 Watford. I wonder how long the cycling goalkeeper is going to be going with that channel. 4-2 Watford. Draw, says Liam. Missing Bielkowski, yeah. 2-1 Watford. Let's move on. Oh, we'll get Lee's prediction in there. 3-0 Watford he's going with. Right, game number 6, and we are out of the top 6 now, is Borough. We are not likely to do this as a watch-along, I have to say. Generally speaking, with my Saturdays, trying to plan out the day, doing the 12:30 watch-along and then the super stream really just kills the day. So I like to spend some time with the missus in the morning and then get onto the football stuff later. So we won't likely be doing this as a watch-along, even though it is going to be the early kickoff, isn't it? Middlesbrough versus Birmingham on Sky. It's the 12:30. Get your predictions in. Warnock versus Karanka. And we mention it every time we do this, but Borough, really good home record. They're only the 1 defeat. And, we were speaking about Watford having played a game less than Swansea and Norwich at home. Borough have played 2 less and a game less than Watford as well. And in the argument to be the best home team in the league. Birmingham's away form isn't terrible, actually, considering where they are in the league. It's the home form that's killing Birmingham, 23rd in the table, 5 straight defeats at home. Away, they set up to frustrate, and look at that, only 8 goals conceded in 11 away games for Karanka. Let's have a look at the recent form for both. Borough, look at that, 4 wins in 5. Just that away defeat for Sheffield Wednesday, or against rather Sheffield Wednesday. The issue, Birmingham's form is terrible, isn't it? 5 defeats in the last 6, only 1 point. And the last 3 games, no goals scored and 6 goals conceded. That'll only send you one way. Away from home, though, if you actually look at it, 7 points in the last 4 is very, very good. But obviously, that last away win coming back on the 9th of December, over a month ago. I'm going to back Mr. Warnock in this one and go for a home win. See what you guys are saying in the comments. Andrew on the cycling goalkeeper. I think they'll stop it, sadly, but he is very entertaining. I'll give him that. But we know what football's media people are like, aren't they? They just stop everything, don't they? Every question you want to ask gets shut down. 5-0 Borough. Jay, ever optimistic Birmingham friend, as I think I've labelled him on here. Does anyone want a Borough watch along? We must have done Borough, Lee, have we? You sure you don't want to see it? Says Noah. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. 3-1 Borough, 2-0 Borough, home win. There you go. Carl's got a surprise away win in there for Birmingham. 2-0 Borough, 3-0 Borough, 2-0 Borough, 2-0 Borough, 2-1. Bits wasn't around yesterday. He's back in the Borough. 3-0. 2-1 Borough, 2-0 Borough, 2-2. Oh, Elliot's got COVID. Get well soon, my friend. Hopefully it's all okay. Best wishes from Mr. E. Peter says 3-0 Borough, 1-1 Borough. So best wishes for everyone from the channel for Elliot. Stay safe and comfortable as you can, and we hope it doesn't infest itself in the way that it obviously can do with some people. Stoke, who have been reasonably busy in the transfer market, visit Blackburn, and I did the return game. I was there on December the 16th. Blackburn versus Stoke. Get your predictions in. And Stoke completely did a number on Blackburn in that game. Scored early, sat in, took the 3 points. Clean sheet, bish, bash, bosh. So it's Matondo's in, Norrington Davis is in, and we suspect Jack Clark will be done by the weekend. Maybe a direct replacement for Tyrese Campbell. We'll talk about it when the transfer goes through. But if you get the Jack Clark that I saw in the flesh at Leeds v Derby, you've got a hell of a player. But if you get the Jack Clark that was on loan back at Leeds and then at QPR, not so good. But predictions in anyway. He may or may not be there by that point. Blackburn 11th in the table. They're 5 points off the playoffs. We've said on the channel a fair bit. We think they should be a little bit closer than that. In terms of the home and away paradigm, well, Stoke are the... where is Stoke in the home table there? 12th at home. That's interesting. I thought it'd be higher than that. So Stoke are quite good away from home, and they've only lost 2 games. Blackburn at home are 11th, so it's all a little bit middling. Let's see the recent form. I think Armstrong had a little barren patch, but he was back in the goals, wasn't he? Again at St Andrews, where he's scored against Coventry and against Birmingham now in the last game. It's too spotty for Blackburn, though, isn't it? Look at that. 3 wins in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, if I've counted that up correctly. The recent home form for Blackburn is decent, though. Look at that, 7 points in 4 and just losing to leaders Norwich and Stoke. That's tremendous. Look at that. Stoke's last 3 away games, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. So clear instructions from Michael O'Neill for Stoke to keep it tight there. I don't know whether Michael O'Neill is kryptonite for Tony Mowbray. I wonder. Away win. We're going to get a 1-0 S-House away win. I'm going to go for an away win. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments here. Sorry. Where do these predictions start? There we go. 1-1 says Liam. 1-1 says Nathan. 0-0, 0-0, 1-1. Draw. 2-2. 1-1, 1-1. 1-1, 1-1. There we go. 2-1 Blackburn. Yeah, so most of you are heavy on the draw in this one. I've gone for the S-House away win. Stoke manager should be called Michael O'Neill. He loves a clean sheet, doesn't he? A 1-0 Blackburn. Bits is with me on the S-House away win there. Stoke, nice little playoff push though with the recruitment. You think with players coming back, can they get up from the position they're in at the moment into the top 6? Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We've already done Barnsley. Let's talk Bristol City, who are going to be playing Preston, who, well, I suppose Forest have had a few players go out, but Preston, surely the busiest team in the January transfer window so far. And if I can remember all of the dealings, so Ched Evans in on loan, Jay Malumbi in on loan, Ben Whiteman in permanently on a, quote, substantial undisclosed fee. And Alan Brown has signed a new deal. We suspected Alan Brown would be the most likely of the Preston 6-month crew. We might be expecting Josh Harrop actually to go to Ipswich on loan. And does that mean Ben Pearson now leaves, given what they've done to bolster their sort of central midfield position? So anyway, Bristol City versus Preston. Bristol City have recalled Casey Palmer and Alfie Mawson is now fit as well. Let's have a look at it in terms of the recent form and the home and away record. Bristol City's recent form's horrible, isn't it? 4 defeats in 5. They did fortunately win the other one, so 3 points in the last 5. But you know that's going to see you move down the table pretty good, pretty quickly there. Preston were in good form until that last defeat at home to Forest, that interesting penalty call in that one with, who was it who fell over? Was it Bong? I can't remember. Someone fell over and had the ball kicked at their... Oh, no, because it wasn't Bong. Doesn't even play for Preston. Darnell Fisher. Excuse me. We were peddling the narrative for the longest time that Preston were terrible at home, but they've improved of late. Still 19th, but they did have 3 home win streak. Bristol City's away form is the 9th best in the division, but 3 straight defeats for them. So we're essentially matching up a team with a recent run of 3 straight home wins. Yes, I accept the recent defeat there against a team with 3 straight away victories. Let's look at the recent results in detail. Really poor for Bristol City, isn't it? Just the wins against Wycombe and Blackburn. We did the Blackburn game as a watch along, but 5 defeats in 7. I wonder, do they stick Palmer and Mawson straight into the team there? Preston are in good form, actually. If you take it big picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins and a draw in the last 9 games is, how many points is that? 16 in 9 is decent, isn't it? Really, really decent. But it's an away game. Oh, dear. Can Preston go and get the victory? Do you know what? I'm going to bore you all senseless and go. I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I don't think either team will get it done. Let's see what you guys are saying. 2-0 Preston. QPR forever. I'm going to sneeze, guys. But now I've said, it's not recurring. Oh, dear. Sorry, excuse me. QPR forever's high on Ben Whiteman. Look forward to seeing him. Good luck to him. Preston away win here. Competition for places. Well put. 1-0 Preston away win. Oh, you guys are all over Preston here. Whiteman, amazing player. So is Malumbi. We have Blackman and Whiteman at the same time. Is he ex-Blades? Is he? Lee, probably know more about it than me, my friend. Away win. 1-1. Preston draw. Preston, that's coming from a City fan. Preston 2-2. Matt says, not the defeats for Bristol, it's the manner of the defeats. Yeah, well said. And a 3-2 away win there. Jack, I hope it goes that way because we'll have plenty to talk about. Oh, I'm getting accused of being on the fence again. Good thing I like you, QPR. Or I'll put you in the fake news sin bin, which we're still looking for a sponsor for as well. The fake news sin bin, you can get involved. It's a seamless plug over to Patreon. There we go. There it is down there. I should probably do a super chat plug because we're live as we speak. Every little helps, guys, as a huge supermarket would have you believe. Where am I going next? So I went draw, and I've been accused of sitting on the fence once again. I could take it. I'm a big boy. Blackburn we've done. Preston we've done. Huddersfield we've done. Luton we've done. Cardiff we've done. Millwall. What are Millwall up to? Forest versus Millwall. Get your predictions in on this one. This was somewhat of a turning point last season for Forest, wasn't it? They just weren't the same after getting that big defeat at home to Millwall. I remember Matt Smith scoring first half hat-trick in this one. So Millwall, good performance and a draw over at Bournemouth. Forest have been ticking along nicely of late. Look at those last 5 games. 9 points in 5, which is in no way, shape, form or fashion bottom 6 form at all, is it? That's upper mid-table form, 9 points in 5, isn't it? Definite second quartile stuff there. Forest have lost a lot of games this season, haven't they? I suppose it's probably a fairly even split between Houghton and Lamucci, although Lamucci wasn't there for long. My contention is that they're in a far better moment now than they have been. They're doing a bit of streamlining with the squad, aren't they? Darikwa, Iain have gone out. Knockhart has re-signed, which is probably a good deal for Houghton and for Forest. Millwall just struggling to get going, aren't they? You can see after the 10 straight winless streak, a win and a draw, and then a defeat against Coventry, and then a good draw against Bournemouth. But of course, they, like everybody, needs wins. Let's look at it through the prism of home and away. Home and away. Anyone used to watch that? So Forest pretty decent at home, just the defeat against Brentford in the last 4 and clean sheets in the other 3 games. Millwall away from home, 4 in the last 2, but that horrible. They were done in about 20 minutes against Borough. This is a difficult one to call, isn't it? Because I'll accuse of going on the fence, but it just smacks of draw to me, doesn't it? It's Rowett and it's Houghton. I don't see Millwall going there and getting the win. I think Millwall's, I think they will bump up the table a bit, but I think it will be done at home rather than in away games against Forest. I'm going to plead the 5th and go to the comments and see what you guys are saying in the chat here. 1-1 says Carl. 1-0 Forest, 2-1 Forest, 1-0 Forest, 0-0 Snorefest, 3-0 Mill. Draw 1-1. Bits is on Millwall. Millwall to bully Forest again. 2-0. 1-0 Forest. 2-1 Forest. 0-0. Millwall a bit of a bogey side for Forest. 2-1 Mill. Good result. 2-1 Mill. Houghton Forest starting to start to turn things around. Oh, I can't get off the draw. Yeah, QPR says sitting on the fence. I can't get off the draw. Both of these managers know how to work a draw. They just haven't managed to work the victories this season. I'm sorry. I know that is my 3rd draw in 9 games so far. I'm on the fence again. Draw in this one, possibly even. And Nathan's right on cue there. 0-0, given Forest's propensity for keeping clean sheets at home. Speaking of Nathan, his team, Cov, aren't playing. So we just have a look at the table. It was due to be Coventry and Wednesday. So apologies for Cov and Wednesday fans. You'll laugh at the way I've just spelt postponed on my notes down there. I'm not even going to tell you how I've done it. It's wrong, let's just say. So it was going to be Coventry Wednesday. Wednesday in fine form. Look at that. 10 points in 4 for Wednesday. That's top 4 form, isn't it? Goodness me. Top 2 form, isn't it? Shame they haven't done it in the other 19 games this season. So Wednesday out of the bottom 3, but they could be replaced. Obviously, we'll talk about Derby in a minute. Coventry, they've got a nice gap, haven't they? 7 points. So not sure the postponement does them any favours, especially given it's a home game in inverted commas for Cov. So let's move on. And we've got to talk next about QPR, who had a lovely old away win. Ooh, what an important game that is. QPR versus Wycombe. QPR off the back of an away win at Luton, which is no mean feat given Luton's away form. And new system, front 2. Dykes and Austin started. Austin scored and then Bon off the bench to score. Bright Asai Samuel played left wing back. Lovely stuff. Tricky. I've got a fancy for a little QPR bump in form here. And this is a vital game, isn't it? You're at home against bottom of the league. QPR really going to want to win this. Let's have a look at the recent form and the Austin factor, obviously. Will it make a difference? So QPR actually, given they haven't been winning, they haven't actually lost many games. Lost at home to Swansea and Reading and away at Huddersfield. Swansea and Reading are in the top 6 and Huddersfield are really good at home. Lots of draws in there. It was always about turning the draws into victories. So you know what it's like. You stick a win on the end of a heavily drawing run, and I'm saying, only 3 defeats in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You stick another defeat on it, and no wins in 9. Big chance for QPR this one. For Wycombe, they did have that good win over Cardiff, but then back into defeat mode at home to Borough. Did they take the lead in that one? No, I don't. Did they? No, I'm not sure they did. I can't remember. Would have done it on the Super Stream anyway. So lots of defeats. What about away from home, Wycombe? Horrible. 1 point in the last 4. I am going to go with QPR. Let's go for a home win. Austin. On the my Jim Ross impression, the wrestling commentator there. The Austin effect to make the difference with this. What do we? There we go, Chris. A man after my own heart. A draw is not sitting on the fence. It's one of 3 definitive outcomes to predict. Yes, but people support football teams, and if you don't predict their team to win or lose, then you're sat on the fence, aren't you? According to football fans. But never let football fan logic define any important decision in your life. Anyway, 3-1 QPR, 3-1 QPR, 2-1 QPR, QPR 2-1, 4-2 QPR, home win. Go on, Carl. 0-1 Wycombe. 3-1 QPR. And apparently, Bright is a good left wing. He's a good player, isn't he? Follow the instructions. Simon says, think we'll sneak the win. Gareth will know how to bombard our box. I think a clean sheet is unlikely, says Simon. Yeah, a bit of a Gareth Ainsworth derby, this one, isn't it? 3-1 Rangers. A Wycombe win here, says Bits. And says Nathan. 2-0 Rangers. 3-1 Rangers. Matt says would be so typical of QPR to follow up a good performance with defeat to Wycombe. I think Wycombe will give this one a real good go. Chaos Luke, spool back, we have done. Benjamin nil, Bloom nil. That's my name, Mr. Nil. QPR to stomp a mud hole in Wycombe. It's a stone cold Steve Austin. So hang on, we always do Hulk Hogan references for Scott Hogan, don't we, brother? So we'll keep this up. We're going to be stomping a mud hole when we mention Charlie Austin this season. Yeah, and there is a 4th outcome, 80, isn't it? Yeah, and with his Villa badge on, lots of cancellations for them. Right, we've got one more to go, which must be Derby, and I can't for the life of me think who they're going to be playing. Is it Rotherham? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Derby versus Rotherham. So if you remember in the flip December 16th round, this was the one that was called off at massively short notice, wasn't it? So Derby versus Rotherham, all sorts of chaos. Remember, I'm going to quote myself if that's a thing. Are you allowed to do that? Owners relegate clubs, chaos relegates clubs. Chaos at Derby at the moment behind the scenes. On the pitch, they're not bad at all, are they? But players not being paid. This, I think I'm going to steal Chris's joke about the Derby takeover that's been happening in 2 days' time for the last 90 days. Poor old Lewis, who's a patron who helps us out with Derby insight on here, is doing his nut about this takeover. But genuine threat of admin if they don't get this takeover done. And we all know minus 12 points, that's even if you're as good as Wigan were in the last half of last season, still relegated them, didn't it? The minus 12 points. So bit of chaos there. However, Rotherham, there's been chaos there as well with the COVID, and they're not good away from home. Let's just bring up the away table and you'll see down the bottom there, Rotherham 23rd best away team in the table, and under Paul Warren they've just been hopeless away from home in the Championship. 5 straight defeats. They did get that one away win, gold star for anyone who can tell me who that was against. I can't quite remember. It was against Wycombe on the opening day, wasn't it? So yeah, not good. How's Derby's home form? Let's have a look. Worst in the league there. Dear oh me, am I going to be sitting on a draw in this one? But improved recently. I suppose we can put a lot of that at Philip Koku's door, who was a lovely man, evidently, but didn't quite work out for him as Derby manager. I think wrong place, wrong time might sum that up if I'm giving him credit. Look at Derby's form, though. Big picture over that last 8 games, 3 wins and 3 draws in those 8 games, which is 12 points. which is certainly not relegation form, is it for sure? And Rotherham, not great. I think Derby are going to win, though, despite all of what I've just said. And Rooney, Rossini and McLaren are doing their bit. It's just the off-the-pitch stuff. And Sheikh Khaled, is it? DJ Khaled? I'm not getting that one wrong, am I? I'm going to go for a home win. I think Derby win this one. Let's have a look here. Not the postponement. Yeah, I know, Super MJ Cooper. This was the flip fixture, and it was the reverse fixture. Yeah, so I'm just saying they were due to play on the 16th and it was postponed. 3-0 says Jack, home win, and here 1-1, 3-3. That would be fun, wouldn't it? 2-2. Surely the goings on will affect the players. You'd think, but Sheffield Wednesday, it seems the more chaos you get there, they win, don't they? So who knows? Home win, draw, 3-1 Derby, 2-1 Derby, 1-0 Derby. Ridley says there isn't a threat of admin and there are no problems with the takeover. We still don't know why it's taking so long. Honestly, I wouldn't even waste of oxygen. Any comments on the Derby takeover? Yes, of course. Stephen Pearce is a friend of Jim White's, isn't he? So I'm sure he went on there. But look, when it's done, I'll believe it. Until it's done, I won't believe it. That's the way I'm going to go with this. And of course, what is Stephen Pearce, Ridley? Is he the chief exec? Of course, he's going to go on there and say there's no problems and they're not going to go into admin. He's not going to go on there and pour more fuel on the fire. So Rotherham to win and drag Derby into it even more. Joel says 1-1. Derby win, though Rotherham had a decent performance at Everton. They did, didn't they, Liam, to be fair? Derby may have to sell Knight and Sibley to pay the wages. And might be Buchanan people will go for ahead of Knight. No, Knight's been really good, hasn't he? Well, some highly valued young players there, 1-1. Derby's takeover going the way of Newcastle. Matthew's asking about the Jack Clark deal. We'll do that in the next transfer video. Has it gone through? I've been on, how long have I been on? I've been on 43 minutes. It hadn't when I started the stream. We'll do it on the next video. And Simon says a 2-1 away win. Interesting there. So that is our predictions. Thank you all for getting involved today. The plan is over the weekend for championship content. We will be live with the Super Stream at about 2:30 on Saturday. And fingers crossed, we'll do Swansea and Barnsley at 7:45, depending on what's happening at home for me. Yes, I'd love to be able to just stream when I like, but I do have a life outside of that. We will definitely be here, and I think it's going to be an early start, 9:30 on Sunday morning for the review show, because I want to get Sheffield United Tottenham done for a dearly departed watch along as well. So there should, in theory, be 4 shows. Thank you, everybody, for your support. If you could go over and check out Patreon. I'll now be doing the abridged, so I'll get that done in 3 or 4 minutes, what we've just done in 44 there. So if you just want the key stuff there, we do exclusive Q&As, etc. And it is your way of supporting me, and it is the way at the moment, Patreon, of trying to get this to flow and for us to be able to go full time with this channel going forward. We're getting there. We need to get to 100 patrons. I think we're about 77. So even if you want to just donate the $3 tier per month, the price of a cup of coffee, it really, really does make a difference. I know I can see a lot of Patreons in the chat here as well. So thank you, all the people who've done that already. I know you guys give the channel a lot of time in the comments, but the Patreon really does take you over the top and really is the best way to support what we're trying to do here. Plug, plug, plug. Speaking of Patreon, let's just say thank you to the Donovan brothers who sponsor all our preview shows. The highest Patreon tier there, in loving memory of Michael Donovan of South East London, lifelong Millwall fan and admirer of this show. Thank you guys so much for all of that. Laters to Lee. Stay safe, says QPR. Liam says thank you, sir. And James, who's a Patreon as well, thank you to you. And Noah. Right, thank you everybody for watching. And unless we stick a Q&A in, maybe tomorrow night, or we get a guest on, that could work. then I'll see you live on Saturday. Something will crop up, won't it? Maybe we'll get a new Sheffield Wednesday manager, or the Derby takeover will actually happen. But there we go. Our next watch-along bits will be the Super Stream, and I think it'll be Swansea Barnsley if you want to work on the bits. Their channel legend. Thank you, Borough CJ and Joel, and Super MJ Cooper as well. Right, thank you for watching, and it is an over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.